What's up, guys? Wanted to talk a little bit today about what I'm planning to do within the next couple of weeks, which is my annual video talking about the next NASCAR game and sort of a wish list of what they should do, or that kind of video. And I know a lot of you are thinking, man, this game just came out. It's a little soon for that. But I don't think it's too soon for that because this game is it's a yearly game. So you can't wait too long before talking about this stuff because they're gonna start soon on the next game. But they can't wait too long because 1 year is not a long development period. So we don't know when they're gonna start. And if we wait too long to tell them what we want, the chances of them listening and being able to implement those ideas, it's going to be a lot smaller of a chance than if we let them know early on, where they have enough time to actually try to make that part of their plans. So I don't know what their plans are, but I do want to do a video talking about that and hopefully influence them in the direction to go in for the next game. There's a chance that, in my opinion, the next game's probably going to be the last game for this cycle of games, which is the NASCAR Heat series that started with Heat Evolution. And the reason for that is that the next-gen consoles are right around the corner. They're not far away. It's already been confirmed that Sony's working on the PS5. In fact, a lot of developers already have what they call the dev kits or developer kits, so that they can get an early start on working with this stuff, so that by the time the consoles come out, there's actually games out for it. So they want to give these developers an opportunity to get familiar with the new software and hardware and actually start working on the next generation of games. I don't know if 704 has these dev kits, but if they don't, they aren't far away from getting it. But in either case, I think within the next 2 years, we are going to see the next gen consoles. And at some point, they're going to have to move away from this current gen and move on to the next gen, and they're going to rebuild the franchise from the ground up. So it's just a guess on my part, but I really don't see a NASCAR Heat 5 with this generation. I just don't see that as a possibility because of when these consoles they're gonna come. I think within 2 years they will be out. That's just my guess on it, just based on the information that we've seen. We already know these consoles are going to come a little sooner than the last generation came out. These console generations are moving a bit quicker. The previous consoles, which are the current gen now, they just, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, they didn't really meet the expectations people have in terms of performance. So they sold very well, especially the PS4. It's doing great. So this isn't a thing where, they didn't do well with it, so they got to try something else. It's just that technology is moving at a rapid pace, and the expectations people have, I believe, are more towards 60 frames per second, 4K gaming, that type of thing. Now, you may not get 4K 60 frames guaranteed, but it's going to be a lot closer than what we see now. The truth is that most of these games are still running at 30 frames. That's just not good enough. And there's a lot you can do to improve. There's better hardware out there. So I think within 2 years we're going to see the next gen consoles, which brings me back to 704. So at some point they're going to have to make that decision and say, okay, it's time to start working on the next generation of NASCAR games, meaning they're going to start from the bottom again, rebuild the entire game from scratch. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I just don't see. We'll get a NASCAR Heat 4, I think, and then they're going to have to, I think, make the move, make the switch. So I think we got one more with this franchise, and I really think they can do a good job to the point where they finally meet most of the expectations most people have. You're not going to really satisfy everyone, but that's just the way it goes. But I want to talk about that next game, and it's going to be sort of a wish list, and I really want 704 to get that message. So I'm letting you guys know now that within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do a video talking about the next NASCAR game, and that's the reason why, because it's a short development cycle, and if you wait too long to put your ideas out there, they're already going to be working on that next game, or they're already going to have at least the plans finalized, and they're not going to have that ability to take in people's suggestions and make big changes to their plans. You know, at some point they got to have their plans set up and then move with it. There's just not a lot of wiggle room. So that's why I'm doing this soon. I am really enjoying NASCAR Heat 3. It has its flaws. I've talked about it. And that's going to, a lot of NASCAR Heat 4, of when I talk about that, where they should go with it, it is going to be addressing a lot of the issues that have been persistent in these games. And so I'm going to do that. I want to know what you guys think. And also, I really need your support. If I'm the only one, if I just like make a video and stuff, they're not, the idea that somebody at 704 high up is going to really sit there and watch my entire video and glean as much from it as possible, it's just not realistic, right? In order for them to get the message, it's going to take a unified effort. This is what I've talked about before. And you guys are all in Twitter, Facebook, and unfortunately that's really 704. That's been their communication with the fans. It's been through that media. And I'm not part of that. And I don't want to be part of that. I don't have time for it. So I want you guys to listen and watch the video. And then if you agree with it, if you like what you see and what you hear, I want you to forward that to 704. And it's not enough for one person to do that. It's going to be a unified effort from as many people as possible, because the more people that give them the same feedback, the better the chance is that 704 actually gets the message, right? And they've proven that they do listen to us. So if the more people that push these messages forward, the better the chances they're going to listen and say, hey, man, everybody's really asking for this, this, and this. And this is where they want to see this game go. I think, they're not going to give us everything we want, but at least there's an opportunity, a chance that they'll listen. And maybe some of this stuff will get through. So, I really would appreciate as many people as possible when you watch that video, when you listen to it. Let's have a united front. Let's be all on the same page with the message and forward this stuff to them. I don't expect anybody at 704, like I said, to sit and watch an entire video, but at least, they can get the same ideas from a lot of people, and there's a better chance that message gets through. So that's what I'm asking for. And I'm, like I said, sometime before the end of the month, okay? Actually, before Red Dead Redemption 2 is released, I think I'm going to do a video talking about NASCAR Heat 4 and what I want to see. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that's a good idea? I think that it's better to push this stuff earlier, where there's a bigger chance of these guys being able to implement some of these ideas in their plans. If you wait too long, honestly, I just think that they won't be able to just, implement these ideas. So, I'm going to tell you right off the bat one thing that's going to be definitely a part of that video. And it isn't, I'm not going to tell you what the ideas are and stuff. A lot of the stuff is stuff you already know about, but we got to keep pushing. But what not to do. And the one thing I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, I do not want to see these guys add another series. I know I've seen other guys make comments in other areas about, yeah, I hope they add a K&N series or a modified. That's the worst thing they can do, because they added this dirt series and it's great, and I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but they admitted that it took up most of their development time. And it's very important that if we want to get this game to where it needs to be, that adding another series is a big mistake. So, I really want them to focus more on other areas of the game and not adding on. We got 4 fully fleshed out series, right? So we don't really need more than that. And so I'm just putting that out there right off the bat. I really hope they're not planning on adding more series and more tracks. If they want to later on as part of DLC, that's another whole thing. But I really want them to focus more on other areas of the game that have been neglected. So, anyhow, I think before Red Dead Redemption releases on the 26th, I'm going to drop a video talking about NASCAR Heat 4, my ideas, and it's very important that we all have that unified front, that they're hearing the message, not just from me, from other guys in the community, all of you guys that are on Facebook and Twitter. And the more people they hear from, I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Also, other YouTubers out there, whoever you are, if you agree and like what you hear in those videos, I ask the same thing. You do your own videos, and let's all hit them with this unified message. And I think they've already proven they do listen to their fans, and they do try. I'm very satisfied with their effort. Everything doesn't hit, everything's not going to be to everyone's satisfaction, but for the most part, these guys really do try. I am happy with the effort, and let's just try to keep this thing going, because I think the next game's going to be the last one for this generation of games. At some point, they're going to have to start working on that next generation game, which the next gen consoles are right around the corner. I think at the latest 2 years from now, they're going to be out. So that's my belief. So what do you guys think? And I want to know if I have your support. I have no doubt that most of you guys who have supported me in the past and have pushed forward my messages and stuff like that you'll continue to do it, because at the end of the day, we're all going to get a better game because of the feedback. In the meantime, I'm going to continue enjoying the NASCAR Heat 3. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm still having a good time with it. For the most part, I'm having a good time with it. It's whatever it's lacking, at the end of the day, the racing, for the most part, has been pretty good. Yes, there are flaws. I've covered that, but I'm having a good time with the game. But the potential to really elevate it even further with NASCAR Heat 4, it's all there. So we just got to push. So I hope you guys are receptive to that. And like I said, before the 26th, before Red Dead Redemption 2 release, because once that game comes out, I'm going to be on that game. I can't wait for that game, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. But so that's pretty much what I have planned to do. So what do you guys think? I look forward to your comments.